I think people are kind of waking up to the evil fantasist part of it. It's like that kind of thinking and rationalisation generally is an enabler of behaviour, right? And you don't have to be you don't have to be a smarty pants to know that. I think just about everybody understands projection, and when it's up in black and white and it's being said by Stonewall, and it's a matter of we know things that it is not possible to know through normal human means. Can I learn such power? Not from a Jedi. Excuse me? Yeah, who in the world knows what 2-year-olds are thinking other than them being like hungry, tired, or in distress, or being peaceful and playful? That's about all the sense data that's available. Obviously, I mean, you can ask questions like, do you feel like you may be a baby boy trapped in a baby girl's body? Do you think you did? And baby might giggle, and there you go. There's affirmation. Excuse me. Oh, a baby knew. It's getting. You get to think of the ins and outs of what they're trying to say or what they're trying to put out there, and it's a matter of the more you think about it, the more that it's just absolutely macabre, fucked up nonsense. What kind of studies have you done to glean this information? Did you indeed sit around like witches around a cauldron and concoct this fucking lie from the ether? Well, there's nothing they can say. We'll just call them transphobes if they doubt our special revelation. But this is a good thing. Why? It's very difficult to double down on special revelation. So, with it being very difficult to double down on special revelation without declaring yourself a fucking psychic goddess, which is what they believe they are, but they won't flat out say it. You might get one or two does. You might get one or two does. But actually what you will get, regardless, is just what would be the next pathological step. As to when you've got one of these characters on the back foot. So there's one of two things that they'll do one of two things or both. Right? One or both. One, pathological avoidance, classical gaslighting. References to what Stonewall said will be removed from the internet, and even though millions of people have seen them, they'll deny that they ever happened, or they'll say that it was the work of some hacker, and they'll maybe fire some subordinate. They'll claim to have been hacked. And they'll say these are the lengths our enemies will go to destroy our community. There's a trans genocide coming. What, John? It's like, yeah, that's what I usually do. But in this case, that would raise too many eyebrows, so they can't go with the usual pathological avoidance of the situation and then gaslighting, basically accusing everyone in the world of believing their lying eyes. Obama would attempt that. Obama would try that. Hillary Clinton would try that. Joe Biden would probably try that and just brass it out. But I think these guys are in a situation where that's maybe not available to all. Maybe available to some, but not all. So the tricks will be decard. Now, those who've been watching my channel for a long time, because as we all know, I am a fucker for pulling things down. I think on Odyssey my videos talking about the ways and means and ins and outs of the decard are probably still up on Odyssey. But that was that's the term I use for people who threaten to kill themselves to blackmail people. I call it playing the decard, because once you know what it means, you don't need to start talking about it, do you? You're better off talking about it in code, right? So I call it playing the decard. So what's the decard? Right, the decard is threatening to kill, threatening to self-harm, threatening to commit suicide, threatening to kill others, threatening suicide pacts. What? So yeah, that's what they'll reach for next. The rhetoric will be that your language is killing us, that your criticism is causing murders, that you are making people kill themselves. How can you live with yourselves? That's what they'll do. They'll just play the D card. You're killing children by opposing us grooming them. That's what they'll do. So they're going to play the D card next. So the next part of this struggle is going to be really a test in how people actually process people who are threatening to kill themselves. That'll be what they throw up next. That's the most potent weapon available. That's the Sinead O'Connor game, isn't it? With her and her kids, they all just threaten to kill each other, kill themselves all the time. I've run across this before. I know about this. So people with suicidal ideation, it's not that they're going to kill themselves, it's that they mouth off and make people and fuck people up. And that's what they're doing. It's not about that they're ready to, take the fucking plunge. It's that they understand that the D card is an exceptionally good weapon to get what they want through emotional blackmail, because it works on the parents. I think I'll end it all. Savage weapon. Savage. Those who reach for it, if you've done it in the past, right? If you've ever done that, you've let it be known. Because I used to get that from time to time. Lots do, and I don't know. I think it's funny. I learned ways of understanding it. So now I think it's quite funny. At the darkest of moments, a fucking hilarity. So, if you do that, you have to consider that what you did there was you hit the red alert alarm button, and understand that what you did was hit the red alert alarm button as to say, I am in absolute total despair and distress. And it be an alarm button that you may never find yourself in a situation where you ever need to press that again, unless you're in absolute mayhem distress. Don't ever deploy it when you're not getting what you want. You see, people who've thrown the D card everywhere, they've made it very, very difficult for other people who are in actual distress to actually find help. There's so many people who do it for attention that when there's people who are in deep trouble, this sort of state we've got that's like fucking modular, and press 9 if you're feeling suicidal. It doesn't have any provision for it. And if you start mouthing off like that and you end up getting yourself sectioned, and then you don't get any treatment at all, because they're then concerned that you're a security risk, and also that they're leaving themselves open to be sued if you die in the custody, so you don't get any treatment. It's the worst thing you can possibly do. That's why people who've got a long history of mental health, they'll say has been hospitalised, right? And they hospitalise them when they start ranting and raving and cracking on that they're going to kill themselves. And it's all about insurance. It's all about getting sued. It's all about the family who created this monster will sue us for having tried to help. So we can't risk doing that anymore. So when people start getting nutty, it's like we lock them up and we dope them up, and then you hear that has been hospitalised, and it's like, why did they hospitalise them? Well, they threatened to cause an insurance claim. So it's how it works is that the system's mechanical. There's no means in the system for actually properly identifying and dealing with people who are playing the D card. So it's now going to come to how well in the counter-attack, how well does this opposition stand to be getting accused of murdering imaginary trans folk? Because that's what they're going to accuse you of doing. You're killing us. I feel like killing myself, Philly. Things like that all the time. Bang, 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 bang. It's what they do individually. It's one of the main weapons as a collective. When they have to reach for the I win button, they reach for the D card. When magic fails, reach for the D card. Magic has failed.